Hi, Perfect Spirit. I'm Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. Now, let's create a miracle in your life today. Well, there's one thing that everyone is doing, and they might not even be aware that they're doing this. I know it was really true for myself, and I was completely unaware that I was doing this. And the dozens, the hundreds, maybe the thousands of people that I've spoken to, they do this as well. It's a natural habit that we get into that is making ourselves sick. It's creating a poison within our body. Any guesses on what that is? It's the head trash. It's all those doubts, all that judgment, all that criticism is making you sick, very sick. I nearly killed myself because of that inner dialogue, that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't worthy enough, that life wasn't worth living, all that nonsense. I mean, nearly costed my life twice because no one said to me, you have these thoughts, but you're not those thoughts. It was like, oh, here's some medicine. Go do this, go do that. It wasn't taking care of this issue. And that issue kept magnifying over time. So I kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker until I lost the ability to walk at age 37 from multiple sclerosis. This is why I'm passionate about getting rid of the head trash. And they need to teach people that you have thoughts, beliefs, opinions, your identity, your story, that is not you. But we attach to it like it is us. And it's not serving you. It's creating a lot of stress in the body. It's making you very sick. But there is an easy way out of this. But right now, your mind, without practice, is probably like an untrained dog that you take for a walk. It's pulling you everywhere. You got the leash and it's pulling you, it's dragging you. Maybe you got this big dog, like I grew up in St. Bernards. Maybe you have this big dog that literally is the most dragging you around because it's like all muscle, 150 pounds, just pulling you everywhere. But after some time, you learn to rein the dog in. So instead of dragging you around for 3, 4 miles, you can do it for like a mile, then maybe a half mile, then a quarter mile, then eventually 100 yards, 50 yards, and you start to get practice and practice. That practice is controlling the mind. And then it's like, oh, there goes the story again. Entertain the story for a while. It's like, oh, wait a second. Where am I standing? What do I hear? What am I touching? Get myself back to this moment. So you're either up in here in the story or in this moment. And this has all sorts of triggers. Like one of the triggers I like to talk about healing. Talk to healing talk about healing with someone that's very sick and they have all these stories on how to heal themselves or how to get better. But they never get better because that mental junk drawer just throws more blocks and obstacles into the path. So it's really about focusing on inner peace. For peace is the true energy of transformation. It's not the busyness up here. It's when you can take a breath and like, I can relax. I can know my true essence as perfect spirit. And perfect spirit is your superhero. Everyone is a superhero. And this is what I talk about in my Sunday afternoon show in my Head Trash Anonymous Facebook group. That everyone is a superhero. And we can talk about how this mind is grabbing you and some tools, techniques you can use to get yourself back into this moment. Because everything you're doing today can be turned into a spiritual practice. It could be watching TV, playing games, video games, reading a book, cleaning the house, doing the laundry. Literally everything can be used as a spiritual practice. To remember that you are perfect spirit. You're not your story. You're not your opinions. You're not your beliefs. You're not your age. You're not what you've done in the past. You're not any of that. You're a perfect spirit. But you keep doing these things that are detrimental to your health. Because you have to realize the mind is very comfortable with being uncomfortable. The mind hates not knowing, hates that unknown factor. I'd rather stick with the misery, keep you addicted to the pain, the suffering, than try something new to get out of it. And it doesn't have to be complex. Everybody thinks that healing has to be complex. I need to buy this. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. You need none of that. You just need a few minutes a day to come back into your power, which is always in the present moment. The power is never in the future nor the past. The power is always right here, right now, right at your fingertips. You can do this if you have the desire and intention to do this, to step out of the comfort zone of the mind. And this is difficult for a lot of people, to step out of that comfort zone, because the mind's natural defense mechanism is to keep you safe. And when you dive into the unknown, the mind doesn't like that, because it doesn't know if it can keep you safe, because it thinks it's predators out there. You'll find none of that. It's just a story to keep you hostage, to keep you mentally possessed in this stuff. But we need to throw out that mental junk drawer, throw it out the window, burn it up, throw it in the bonfire, whatever it takes to get rid of those stories, that past that doesn't serve you, and those memories that trigger things. It just all needs to go away. Because all these self-criticism, doubts, judgment is increasing your stress levels. And stress, the cortisol, is the poison of the body. So your thoughts are sparking that poisoning that you're doing. And especially if you're watching a lot of TV, hearing the news about what's going on presently in the world, it's making the mind very fearful. Like, how do I keep myself safe? Well, you're safe and fine in the present moment, because all your power is right here, right now. As soon as you feel like something's coming onto the body, just notice, where did I get my power away? Where did I get my strength away? Where were you in the mind and not here? And the way to heal the body is not focus on healing. It's to focus on inner peace. If the body feels a little off, don't focus on the body being a little off. Focus on like, this is what the body does. Let me be present. Let me really come fully into this moment where all my power is, where my superhero is hiding. Your superhero is hiding out right here in your heart space. So if your body's feeling off, you don't even need to address it. It's like, okay, let me come into the present moment. What's the next thing I need to do to nurture this body? And just trust whatever wisdom arises, because you live in this body. You know what's best for you. You know your recipe. And I'm here to help you get rid of this stuff, to give you some pointers, some tips to get rid of this. Because I've worked with getting rid of this for 10 years. It's been about 10 years now since my healing, that I've learned to control that mind that was so possessed with all the doubts and all that criticism. It really feels like I'm living two lives. Nearly sick for 40 years to like healthy for the past 10. It's really a surreal experience. Just to think about this mind nearly took my life several times, but now I needed that to discover who I truly am. Perfect spirit, this superhero that's hiding, just waiting for you to surrender this and to dive into you, to take that leap of faith in you and trust in you. So hopefully you'll tune in tomorrow, see you in my Facebook group, Head Trash Anonymous Global Chapter, and then I'll be back live. I'll do another video tomorrow, the talk on Sunday, then Monday night I do the soul messages with Lori, giving you readings. I just want to get you some clarity in your life, that this mind's telling you one story, but spirit is trying to convey this other message. You need to go do this. You need to go focus on this area. And it's interesting, when I do readings for people, if I do like 3 different card pulls, for example, they'll be all on the same basic theme, because spirit is always step by step by step. Yeah, you want to know 3 steps ahead, but spirit's like, no, slow down, focus on this step first. Then the next step will come when the time is right. Then the next step. And the mind hates this. It really hates it. The mind wants to know things. It wants to plan things out. And spirit's like, no, it's fine in this moment. Let's focus on this one task right now. Then when you're ready, we'll focus on the next task. And that's the way I healed. within 2 years. It was really about 20 months from very sick to healthy. And yeah, it still feels surreal to me because I was sick for 40 years. But you can do this too, because I have a human body like you have a human body. But we all have this perfect spirit that is connected to all that is and all possibilities. All right, take good care of yourself, and I will talk to you tomorrow.